Welcome back to Insightful Gaming. Today we're about to unleash a build that'll make you feel like an ultimate superhero with a PhD in astrophysics, or maybe just like Iron Man after he discovered the perfect coffee blend. We're talking mind-bending, jaw-dropping, and controller-dropping power. Seriously though, if your controller drops, we're not responsible. Get a wrist strap. With the Titan build we're about to show you, you'll be able to regenerate abilities faster than a programmer on Red Bull. You will rain down a never-ending cascade of orbs of power and fire sprites that'll make the enemy question their life choices, or at least make them wish they had studied computer science. You'll be an unstoppable force of nature, clearing rooms like a boss and embarrassing challenges like they're a Windows 95 PC in a world of quantum computers. And the best part is the 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘. It turns you into an invincible beast, hurling grenades and hammers with the ferocity of a particle accelerator on full blast. This build doesn't just make you the ultimate killing machine. It also turns you into a healing wizard, keeping the whole team alive and kicking or tapping furiously on their keyboards if that's more their style. If you want to be the hero your squad deserves, smash that like button and drop a comment. If this video made you laugh, please subscribe to our channel for more gaming goodness. Let's dive deep into the nitty-gritty of this extraordinary build, where we're about to decode the secret sauce that'll make you a master of destruction, or at least a master of making your enemies cry like they just lost a game of Dungeons and Dragons. We're talking lethal. So lethal that it'll make your ex's cooking seem like a Michelin-starred meal. Starting with our Firebolt grenade, which is already pretty potent on its own, but with a rain of firebolts and flare-up seasonal mods, we're taking things up a notch by providing an additional grenade charge and extra scorch stacks, because who doesn't love extra toppings on their pizza? With our carefully chosen fragments, your grenades will apply even more scorch stacks and damage, vaporizing weaker foes and searing the rest. And as you gather fire sprites, our Solar Surge seasonal mod will award you armor charges. Your Solar Firebolt grenades will create sunspots on the ground, offering continuous healing and ability regeneration. With our precisely crafted mods and fragments, your melee and ability energies will be perpetually replenished, because we're all about renewable energy here. And if that wasn't enough, releasing your throwing hammer will further restore your grenade and class ability energy. You can even use the Consecration aspect slam to do the same thing, like a vending machine that never runs out of Mountain Dew. Solar abilities and weapon kills will spawn powerful sunspots on the ground, not only recharging your abilities faster but also reducing super energy drain. And thanks to our exotic Phoenix Cradle, allies that pass through the sunspot are granted Soul Invictus and Solar Restoration. Soul Invictus lasts twice as long, while sunspots continue to scorch additional targets, making you and your teammates invincible with so much healing. To truly master this unbeatable build, you need to understand the inner mechanics and optimize every aspect of it. So gear up, buckle up, and get ready to dominate the competition, like a boss. It's time to get up close and personal with the weapons and gear loadout for this build. And trust me, this isn't your grandma's crochet hook. We're talking about the BXR-55 the weapon of choice that'll make your enemies shriek like they just saw a bug in their code. With its solar nature blending seamlessly with the rest of the build, it's like it was made for this moment. The incandescent perk proves useful for dealing damage to clusters of enemies, making it a real crowd pleaser at any party. And the demolitionist perk lets you unleash grenades more frequently, resulting in even more destruction. Any other weapon boasting these two perks should be considered as well. Another exceptional weapon to pair with this build is Sunshot. And no, we're not talking about a screenshot of the solar eclipse, although that sounds pretty cool too. This weapon has always been a top contender for solar buffs, with explosions that provide clear sight lines and scorching nearby enemies upon killing. Its exotic perk Sunburn fires explosive rounds and highlights targets that take damage from Sunshot, because who doesn't love a little extra glow in their tech gadgets? And when it comes to your heavy weapon, feel free to choose based on personal preference. But consider Avoid Heavy to take advantage of our seasonal mod's steady supply of heavy ammo. It's time to take a deep dive into the stats you'll want to prioritize for this epic build. First up, resilience is your best friend. It's like the trusty sidekick who always has your back, no matter what. It empowers you to withstand the fiercest content, ensuring you can take a hit and keep on battling like a true hero. Next up, discipline is where it's at, because who doesn't love more frequent and powerful grenade throws? It's like tossing a fiery pokeball at your enemies. And while recovery may not be your top priority, it's still a significant asset. Strength isn't as crucial since our build provides infinite melee, making melee energy generation as easy as solving a 2x2 Rubik's Cube. So, prioritize the first two stats and regard recovery as a valuable bonus. Moving on to abilities, our ultimate weapon is the awe-inspiring Hammer of Soul. It summons a scorching hammer that obliterates everything in its path, perfect for vanquishing hordes of enemies or dishing out colossal boss damage. And it also spawns sunspots on impact for endless ability regeneration and healing. If you're using the Consecration aspect, I highly recommend trying out the Burning Wall. It's like a firestorm on the battlefield. And for our grenade ability, we handpicked the Firebolt grenade, dishing out solar damage and annihilating clusters of foes. And with seasonal mods like Flare Up and Rain of Firebolts, this grenade becomes an absolute force to be reckoned with. Our class ability, Towering Barricade, is like a force field, offering cover and protection in desperate situations. And with the speed recharge, courtesy of stats and mods, you'll be able to deploy this baby frequently. And finally, for our solar melee, we're wielding the unstoppable throwing hammers, because sometimes you just need to chuck a hammer at someone's face to make a statement. This ability allows you to hurl hammers, dealing solar damage, ideal for dispatching distant adversaries. And if you're using the Consecration aspect, you'll be able to reset your slam every time you pick up that hammer. It's like a never-ending cycle of destruction. Plus, it meshes flawlessly with our build by generating class ability and melee energy with each throw. Aim your hammers with the precision of an archer, but don't worry if you miss. You'll still passively generate melee energy at a breakneck pace. Now, let's jump into the sausage making. Let's talk about the fragments. First on the menu, we have Ember of Torches, where your melee attacks against enemies make you and your allies radiant. That's right, we're cranking up the heat and glowing like a sexy neon sign on a wild night out. And with melee attacks and slams being the bread and butter of this build, we'll maintain that sweet radiant buff for ourselves and the whole team. Next, we have the tantalizing Ember of Searing, which dishes out melee energy when we defeat scorched targets and spawns a fire sprite that recharges our grenade energy. Now let's talk about the sensual Ember of Mercy. It doesn't just give restoration to us and our nearby allies when we revive someone, but also serves up a helping of restoration when we pick up fire sprites. And finally, we have the fiery Ember of Empyrean, where solar or weapon ability final blows extend the duration of our restoration and radiant effects. So there you have it, the fragments that make our Solar Titan build absolutely irresistible. Fasten your seatbelts, party people, because we're diving into the armor mods for this kick-ass Solar Titan build. Let's kick off with the helmet, where we're all about super generation speed. With Ashes to Assets and Hands-On, you'll get bonus super energy on grenade and melee kills. And with Harmonic Siphon, you'll spawn orbs of power with rapid solar weapon final blows. And sure, go for the heavy ammo. Unless you're a ketchup on steak kind of person, then we need to have a talk. Next up, Gauntlets. It's a melee energy fiesta. Heavy-handed will spawn orbs of power with powered melee final blows like a pinata of awesomeness. We're also rocking one grenade kickstart mod, giving us grenade energy back when it's fully expended, because running out of grenades in a fight is like showing up to a party without any beer. And let's not overlook the melee kickstarter mod, refilling our melee energy in a jiffy when it's all used up. Time to chat about the chest, where mods are like a perfect high five with our exotic. With 2 charged up mods, your ability regeneration goes turbo when your super is fully charged, letting you carry 2 extra armor charges for the kickstart mods. Talk about a power boost. For the legs, it's all about putting the pedal to the metal on grenade energy recovery. 2 innervation mods make your grenade cooldown shrink every time you grab an orb of power. And with 1 stacks on stacks armor mod, you'll nab an extra armor charge when you pick up orbs, like finding a hidden treasure in a video game. Last but not least, the Titan Mark is where we handpick mods to elevate the build's master plan. With 2 border mods, you'll cut down grenade cooldown when using your class ability, because sometimes you just gotta make things go boom. And with the Reaper mod, you'll conjure an orb of power after a weapon final blow post-class ability use. Now let's plunge into our zesty seasonal mods. In the first row, it's all about tailoring your arsenal to your beloved weapon of mass hilarity. Submachine gun fanatics, pop the champagne as the Submachine Overload mod is here to party. For the scout rifle connoisseurs, the unstoppable scout rifle mod will tickle your fancy. Bow wielders, unleash your inner Robin Hood with the Overlord mod. And to take down those pesky barrier champions, the anti-barrier pulse rifle and sidearm mod is your best wingman. But fear not, your subclass can also help you whoop those champions' behinds. For Arc's subclass users, blind or blinding aspects will stun unstoppable champions. Solar subclass users light them up with ignition damage. Stasis subclass users put champions on ice with shatter damage. And with the Strand subclass, the suspend aspect will stun unstoppable champions like they just heard the world's greatest yo mama joke. The cherry on top, these mods are passive and don't require any slotting. Talk about a free lunch. As we boogie on down to the second row of seasonal mods, feast your eyes on the multi-siphon mod. It's like a wild party in your helmet, combining the effects of Strand Solar and Void Siphon mods. Perfect for when you want to juggle different energy weapons and generate orbs with both types of weapons like a pro. The next 4 mods cut down the energy costs of your armor mods for Solar, Strand, Void weapons, and grenades. The Solar Surge mod is the real MVP, slashing energy costs from 3 to just 1. It's like finding a $20 bill in your pocket. In the third row, the Solar Surge mod is a must-have like the perfect punchline. Collecting fire sprites grants you armor charge. To level up, choose 2 more perks, such as Shatter Orbs, which create an orb of power upon breaking a shield, with matching damage type. And for high-stakes PvE content, Flare Up is the ultimate wingman for Firebolt grenade users, granting more Scorch stacks and spawning a fire sprite near damaged enemies. In the fourth row, you can't miss the Bricks from Beyond mod. It's like having a pinata filled with heavy ammo, granting heavy ammo for you and your buddies upon defeating powerful combatants with a Void weapon. And in the fifth row, Rain of Firebolts is a top choice, giving you an extra charge of Firebolt grenade like a buy one and get one free deal. Finally, if you're packing a Void weapon, the Void weapon channel in mod is your best friend, which provides a temporary boost to Void weapon damage after defeating a target with a fully charged Void ability. And to be the ultimate team player, the Prismatic Transfer mod is your go-to, giving a bonus to weapon damage for each member of your fire team with a different subclass damage type when you cast your super. In a nutshell, this solar build is a comedy powerhouse, perfect for any activity in Destiny. Our chosen abilities, aspects, fragments, and armor mods join forces to create a knee-slapping, enemy-slaying combo. If you enjoyed this build and found it helpful, don't forget to smash that like button, drop a witty comment below, and subscribe to our channel for more exhilarating builds and gaming content. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic rest of your week.